and we're here to talk about Come From Away.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. Can you give me a little bit of an insight into it? I've never seen Come From Away.
So it's a musical set in Gander, which is a small island on. It's a town in an island called Newfoundland, which is just off East Canada, and it's based. The backdrop is 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
So to set up the story, when 9/11 is a worldwide event that we're all very much aware of and have all been affected in our own ways. When the planes crashed into the towers, all the planes that were mid-air were all diverted to Newfoundland and landed in Gander. 38 planes landed in Gander in the space of a few hours.
Right.
And it tells this beautiful story of the altruistic, kind nature of the people of Gander, who adopted this kind of stick the kettle on mentality and welcomed all these passengers from overseas, and really stepped up at a point when we were witnessing kind of the worst of humanity and displayed the best of humanity. It's a 100-minute musical with no interval, so anyone coming to watch, make sure you pee before. The music is influenced by kind of traditional Celtic folk mixed with a contemporary musical theatre American sound. And it's just storytelling at its best. It's a cast of 12 onstage actors wearing various different hats, telling stories of the people of Gander and also the Come From Aways, and how kind of overnight the town of Gander went from 7,000 to 16,000.
Right.
And how they all navigated that and ultimately forged a bond that will affect them all for the rest of their lives. Friendships were made.
Yeah.
And the mayor of Gander famously said, on day one of 9/11, September 11th, 2001, we had 7,000 come from aways, and on day 5 when they left, we had 7,000 family members leaving. So that says everything about the beautiful spirit of the people of Gander.
And it sounds like it's a story of true human bonding and how people can really pull together in a time of real difficulty as well.
Yeah, and it's kind of got these global themes of human kindness. No matter, it's a story that happened in 2001, but it's just as relevant today with everything that's going on politically in the world. We're seeing so much genocide and terrible things, and we really need those who can help to help, and Gander is a perfect example of that.
Yeah. What sort of challenges has this production presented to yourself as an actor?
The multi-rolling is a really fun one. There's technical aspects like the accent, so we have to do a Gander accent, which is an American accent that's really, or should I say Canadian accent, that's really influenced by a lot of Irish roots. And so it's a very specific sound, and it's quite satisfying to do once you get your tongue around it. You have to essentially relearn how to speak, in order to do the accent. And we had an amazing dialect coach who helped us through it. And the accent was interesting. I think also none of us really leave the stage. So if we're not in scene, we're acting as background, and I think my character actually gets the most time off stage, and that's about 5 minutes. That's it, out of 100 minutes. So we don't leave the stage. So there's a stamina aspect. But to be honest, it's a joy to perform. It's really satisfying to exercise your facility as an actor and to tell these different stories. So I play, my 2 main parts are a character called Kevin J, who's one half of a couple. He's a kind of metropolitan city guy who is desperate to get back to New York to see his family, and is really affected by the scenes of 9/11. And throughout the journey experiences a breakup with his partner, Kevin T, who so that's a really interesting thing. And then on the flip side, I play a character called Ali, who's an Egyptian passenger on the plane. And that storyline really highlights the kind of modern day Islamophobia that was ignited as a result of 9/11. And overnight, we felt this shift of Islamophobia and the power that the media had in in influencing this fear in everyone, and how that affected the brown members of our society, you know, people from
Yeah.
because it wasn't just, you know, Muslims that were affected, it was kind of anyone who was Asian was targeted. And I think something like statistically overnight crimes went up by like 1,000% from 9/11 as a result. So that's a very important storyline to highlight and give that demographic a voice.